Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. Well, you got to spend a pretty special day up in Seattle last weekend.
I did. It was, I haven't felt that building like that since 2014.
Right.
And it was, I think one of my favorite parts is the walk down the hill. You know, you're just walking down second or you're walking down first. And there's people, hanging out of every bar, restaurant, coffee shop. People are doing the Seahawk chant in the middle of the street, and 1,000 strangers magically jump in. Yeah, man, it's a special place. It's something, it's special for a reason. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, there isn't a more fun place in the world. And I got to tell you, when Rashid Shaheed, knifed up the middle and there was nothing but green grass in front of him, that place, you couldn't hear the person next to you. So yeah, it was awesome.
Was the stadium shaking? Was it that loud?
I think sometimes you just get so caught up in like the moment and the atmosphere that, you don't even really sit back and think about it. You just there and it's rocking, man. I mean, it is absolutely rocking. I've been fortunate enough to go to a number of events over the years. But that place, when it is electric like it was on last Saturday night, is something special. I haven't seen anything beat it yet.
Yeah. I mean, my first question to you when we talked on Monday was, so what was it like? And you're like, well, it's a playoff game in Seattle. I mean, that's really all you need to know. I mean, the place is rocking. Like you said, it's not just the game. It's the walking to the stadium. It's the all the restaurants, every single bar, every person you cross down the street is, go Hawks. It's a whole vibe that is just crazy. And when you add in the playoffs, it just amplifies it even more. It's pretty awesome.
Well, and the other thing is, it's been a decade since we've had a home playoff game. Like, we've been deprived a little bit.
We have.
I mean, we got the COVID year, but that don't count.
Yep.
So, no, I think people were ready, and the ticket prices certainly echoed that statement.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's not much better for this weekend either. So, but hey, we'll both be up there. But we have to, right? I mean, we've been to 3 NFC Championship games in Seattle, and we've won all 3. So I kind of feel like maybe we're the good luck charm. We got to go.
Well, I've got my dinner reservation at the same spot, and there's certain things that have to be done. And
yes. Yeah, you got to stay with tradition. Now, I do think that if we do win this game, putting the cart before the horse a little bit, I don't think either of us are going to the Super Bowl. Because we're both 0-1 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Although I think it's fair to say we both got gypped in our, I got done by the referees, and, you got done by our quarterback being a selfish you-know-what, when the simple answer was run the damn ball. So,
yes.
But that and I don't have the funds to go to the Super Bowl, so I'll be putting some meat on the Traeger and watching it on the big screen in the basement, because that I can't afford. But the Super Bowl ticket, no chance.
Yeah, but it's a lot different being in Seattle this weekend, NFC Championship. I mean, it's a better atmosphere this weekend than it will be at the Super Bowl, other than the fact that it's a massive event. But man, you're at the home stadium, the home crowd is there. You go to the Super Bowl, it's 50-50. Well, it's really more like probably 30% see one team, 30% another team, and then the other 40% is all corporate people. So it's not even the same atmosphere.
And I think that's what really makes those home playoff games special, because for the most part, I mean, yes, there's some corporate stuff, and but they're all sitting up in the suites that you and I will never have to bother about finding where to go, because we're in the wrong tax bracket to be up there. But it's predominantly fans. It is the fans. It's the football people. It's the people that go, you know what, we've saved up all year so we can go to this game. And, people are passionate about it. People are, it's the fans. It's not just people sitting there, it's not your Instagram cronies that are there to get a click. It's people there that are there to watch the football game and no football. And that's why it's even more special.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the game. So clearly return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Pretty epic way to start a football game, especially considering that, last time we played the Niners, they only scored 3 points. And, well, this time they only scored 6. So we basically won the game in the first 3 seconds of the game, which is pretty cool. But it was good to see our offense click. It was good to see our running backs. Unfortunately, losing Charbonnet kind of hurts, but we'll talk about that more in a second. But, Kenneth Walker goes 19 carries for 116 and 3 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 5 receptions, found him in the offense. Man, you get that guy involved, that's just going to help JSN get open this weekend.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people need to realize. When you've got a receiver of the caliber of a JSN, of a Puka Nacua, of a Devontae Adams, and the list goes on, a CD Lamb, whatever. You got to put together a game plan, and you kind of have to go one of two directions. You can run double coverage over the top of their guy and go, let's see if the other guys can beat us. And if they do, they do. Or you can sit there and go, all right, we're going to give him his 8 catches and hopefully we keep him to 60 yards instead of 170. And we trust our corner and let's just play the game. And, those are the conversations that, the defensive coordinators have every week on how to address the opposition's deal. And, we got a guy too. JSN's one of those guys. So, I think it's great that Donald didn't try to force things into situations that weren't there. He took the plays to Kupp, and let's not forget that he led the league in receptions and yards 7-8 years ago himself. So he knows his way around the football field.
Yeah, and those were contested catches too. He was, those were some tough ones, getting the feet down, and big third down catches to extend a drive. That's just that's why we brought him here.
Yeah, he's serving a dual purpose, right? And there's no, there's no shock here. He's a veteran receiver. He's assistant, receivers coach. He is big brother to JSN, all of the above. And, let's not forget, the guy still knows how to find his way open and find a hole in his own defense. And that's what he did. And Kenneth Walker was amazing. And I think we have been spoiled that we essentially have a 1-2 punch at running back that was probably better than anyone else in the league. And unfortunately, we lost one of our dudes, but we've got options behind him, and we're in a very fortunate place because of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we activated Holani back off IR, and, he was playing really, really well until, 1, he got injured, and then 2, we brought in Shaheed. He was returning kicks and doing some good stuff. So I'm excited to see him in the backup role. Hopefully we don't need to use him until fourth quarter if we got this thing in hand like we did last week. But
the reality is that, Kenneth Walker is your first, second down back. And, Charbonnet was always your passing down back. He picks up blocks well. And, we've got two very good choices on third down. And whether that's Alani or whether it's our fullback can step in. He's a fullback. He blocks for a living, so he can pick up a blitzing linebacker any day of the week. So I think you're going to see probably at some point in the game both of those guys split some time on third down. And depending on the flow of the game, Walker might just have to be a 3-down back this weekend. So, it's the NFC Championship game. You don't worry about tomorrow this weekend. It's all hands on deck. So it's going to be fun to watch, and that's why we play the game.
Absolutely. All right, the first game of the day, which actually caused the Seahawks game to be delayed. Were you inside the stadium watching that overtime?
I sure was.
That's pretty cool. Number one, I love the fact that they delayed the Seahawks game and had that game up for everybody to watch. But Bills Broncos, that was a fantastic football game. And
hold on a second.
Let's talk about the repercussions after that too.
Well, hold on a second. Are we going to get back to the Seahawks? Are we done talking Seahawks? Or are we going back to the Seahawks?
I'm done with the Seahawks. I'm ready to move on.
All right. Well, I got one more thing I want to say before we move on from the Seahawks.
Okay.
I have never wished an injury or anything bad to an opposition player ever. That changes today.
Okay.
Is it Eddie Pinheiro, the kicker?
The kicker.
Should be banned from the NFL, should have a lifelong suspension. Anybody that tries to deliberately injure another player on the football field should be done. And I hope he breaks his leg the next time he gets on the field. He deliberately tried to slide tackle, which is completely outside of the rules of the game. He could have broken a leg. He could have snapped an ACL. I mean, I have no room for that in the game whatsoever. So I just wanted to get that out there. And I have never wished injury or hurt on anybody. But that is a low-life thing to do. He could have ended Shaheed's career right there. Wow. And that's just, I won't accept that.
And that's why that play is banned from the NFL. That's why it's a 15-yard penalty.
It should be an automatic ejection, and it should be at least a year-long suspension.
Well, especially it's not that blatant because, I mean, he was the last man there, and if he didn't stop him, like, I kind of get, like, hey, I'll take a 15-yard penalty to stop him. Like, I understand what he's thinking, but it's one thing to do it then. It's another when you're, engaged with a offensive lineman and you happen to stick your leg out to trip a guy going through the hole. Look, the linemen, they're in the trenches. Like, stuff's going to happen there. And the other thing is they ain't out in the wide open where a guy's at full tilt. You've got, lineman is lineman. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, those are big boys trying to, muscle for position. You got no problem with the lineman. That this guy made a conscious decision to try to injure another player. Yeah. And I'm done. Okay.
So I hope people in San Francisco are listening, and I hope they fire their kicker, and I hope no one ever gives him a job again. So that's my 2 pieces on that. Let's talk about Bills game.
Bills game. Fantastic football game.
Dude.
Unfortunately, the Broncos lost their quarterback in the process, and the Bills lost their head coach, but a lot of stuff came out of this football game.
Isn't it funny how if there's a certain field goal in Pittsburgh, there's probably a different head coach and a different quarterback at the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. And if maybe that play was a catch and not an interception, maybe there's a different head coach in Buffalo this year. It's amazing how these one little plays have determined the outcome of franchise changing directions.
Yeah, pretty amazing. And I did not see McDermott getting fired. I mean, I kind of get it, but he's got a winning record. He's not in the playoffs. He's like 8-8 in the playoffs, but I mean, that guy's turned that football team around, and clearly something wasn't clicking there.
So, I think for the most part, owners are spoiled brats. They're billionaires. They're used to getting what they want, right? But I gotta tell it was interesting to me that they not only kept the general manager but promoted him. And when I look at that football team, I see holes in the defense. I see holes in the offense. A large problem is the fact that when you're paying your quarterback $70 million a year, there's only so much money to go around. And if you were to ask me, I see 2 factors. Number one, Josh Allen can't turn the ball over 5 times. I mean, that happened. Let's just remember that he turned the ball over 5 times. Now he does a number of wonderful things, but he turned the ball over 5 times. And that's not on McDermott. I mean, well, you can't coach that. Tell the guy don't fumble, okay? But he fumbled 3 times
and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he had 5 turnovers. I mean, can you imagine if Sam Darnold had 5 turnovers? They'd be calling for his head.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be calling for the head coach's head.
Well, no, that'd be So I think there are certain players in the league that get away with get hole passes. And look, I'm not saying that Josh Allen might not be the best player in the NFL. He's definitely in that conversation. But he had a bad game, and he had 5 turnovers, and that's why they lost the football game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they ran the football well. He dispersed the football around pretty well. They outgained him in every aspect of the game, minus the turnovers. And man, Bo Nix, that guy just finds a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix you're absolutely right. I mean, hell of a career at Oregon. the Denver Broncos they're going to be a powerhouse for a while. And once again, it's built on defense. It's built on, good coaching, good play calling. A little luck along the way. You got to have a little luck along the way. But yeah, no, that's a very well run franchise. Unfortunately, their head coach is a criminal. But other than that, I got nothing terrible to say about the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the Sunday games. So the first one, Patriots-Texans. Unfortunately, C.J. Stroud is he just has a really hard time keeping the football with his own team. I mean, 4 more interceptions. There's something going on there. That's a problem.
Yeah, if I'm the Houston Texans, I'm looking for a quarterback, and I think this could be a classic case of change of scenery, whatever, but something ain't working there. And that defense is too good to that defense is just too good for that result. And CJ just, he didn't have a very good game the week before, and they got out of jail. So it wasn't like this was a bad day. It happens once, it's a bad day. It happens week after week. It becomes a precedent. And I'm looking for a new QB in Houston.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to look at the last 2 playoff years. This year he's throwing to Jaden Higgins. Never heard of the guy. Dalton Schultz. Well, he's pretty darn good, but he had to leave in the second quarter with an injury. Xavier Hutchinson, Harrison Bryant. Who are these guys? Nico Collins out with a concussion. Tank Dell blew up his leg last year. He hasn't had anybody to throw to in the playoffs. And I think that's a big piece to this as well is, you can't just throw in 4 new wide receivers in a divisional game and expect to be running on all cylinders. So I think that has to be a little bit of a factor that they look at here. But man, he's got to make better decisions and can't be having 4 interceptions in whether it's week 1 of the season or divisional season. That just can't happen.
Your point isn't without merit. I agree. It's tough, man. You got to have a rapport with your guys, and that comes through time and reps. And if you haven't played with guys before, it's tough. Your point is valid, but I think the bigger point is that team with that defense, punting is okay, and make them go 80 yards every time. It is really hard to drive the football 80 yards down the field, and especially against, arguably the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over. These guys are trying to do too much. One of the reasons that, the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2000, 2001 with Trent Dilfer basically handing the ball off. That was his job. Do not turn the ball over. Don't give the other team short field position. We've got the best defense in football right here. We got a guy by the name of Ray Lewis that eats small children for breakfast. Just don't turn the ball over. Punting is okay. They ain't going to go 80 yards on us. And, honestly, that's what Sam Darnold did last week. He only had 140 yards. But what happened? We got the ball at midfield every week. So I agree with you. I think it's, it's tough, but CJ just can't. You can't have 6 turnovers, man. You just can't do that.
No, you can't do that. All right, let's move on to the Bears-Rams. So you talked about, just kind of throwing it up there and stuff, man. That 4th down, end of the game, Caleb Williams backpedaling off his back foot, just throws it into the corner of the end zone, and somehow Cole Kmet is wide open for the touchdown catch to tie that game. Dude, that was incredible.
That was fun, wasn't it? It never should have happened, but it was fun.
No, it shouldn't have happened, but man, that's something you normally see in the south end zone in Seattle, right?
Yeah, that definitely had something, a little south end zone, and the only guy that gets to pull off plays like that used to wear number 12 and play for Green Bay. But, it's fun, man. And that's why playoff football is great. That play never should have happened. Neither one of us really had a dog in the fight. You're just sitting there as a fan watching the game. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. If you would have told me Matthew Stafford's not going to throw for a touchdown, I'm not sure the Rams win that football game. But, man, they just did it when they needed to. They ran the football well. And their kicker, I don't know what he said in his post-game interview. I still can't translate that, but he got it done when he needed to. That was just a great football game.
I don't think that was him. I think it was just the feed got choppy there for a second, to be honest.
Oh,
I mean,
I think that was him.
Oh, I took it as the feed got choppy, but okay. Anyway, couple things. I don't think Matt Stafford's 100%. I think his finger is hurting him more than he's telling anybody, because he threw a couple of ducks during that game, and he is the league MVP this year. And, you throw in the cold, frigid weather they had to play in, and his finger getting, hurt the week before. I don't believe him to be at 100%. So, and being the consummate professional that he is, he ain't going to say nothing. He's going to be like, "Yep, I'm ready to go."
Yeah.
And because that's what he does. That's why he's a league MVP. He's like, "Yeah, no, give me the ball. Here we go." I think Chicago is this year's version of the Washington Nationals last year. I think they had a Cinderella run. I think they had 7 fourth quarter comebacks. At the end of the day, statistics tell you it ain't going to happen 2 years in a row. I think they're a 9-8, 10-7 team. I think they had a magical run this year. Look at what happened to the Washington Commanders after they made it to the division round. I think Chicago had a magic run. I hope they enjoyed it, because it ain't happening again next year.
I think you're
there
wrong.
you go.
You're wrong.
You know what? That's why it's sports. It's, opinions and backsides. Everyone's got one, right?
Yep. Hey, I've been saying all year, Ben Johnson with the Bears was going to be kind of an epic turnaround. Going to be a fun team to watch. I think they're going to be successful. I think you get one more year, another offseason, all these wide receivers together with Caleb Williams. The Bears don't seem to be losing any of the coaches off their staff. That's a football team that gained a ton of confidence this year, and now next year, going into next year, they have a lot more confidence, and they're expecting to go win football games. Versus this year, I think they were just, hey, let's have a good season. They ended up winning some games, and then everyone's like, oh, maybe we got something here. Now next year, they're expecting to go win and finish 11-5.
So let's put it on the podcast. The bet is lunch. Okay, nothing crazy. Bet's lunch.
Okay.
10.5, I'm going to take the under. And obviously you think they're going to take the over. 10.5 wins.
I'd have to look at the schedule, but yes, I would take the over.
I don't think they do better than 10-7, and that's not going to get you in the playoffs. You got to get 11 wins to get in the playoffs these days with the extra game. And potentially 2 extra games coming down the line, but we'll have that discussion later.
Yeah.
I think the real deal is, look, I would have rather seen the Bears, just because I think we match up better than them with them. I think the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks are pretty much the same football team. We run a very similar offense. We run a very similar defense. They have an edge at quarterback. We have an edge on defense. Running back's about even. They have a slight edge in receiver because they got 2 dudes. We got 1.5. Their defensive line is stupid good. So is ours. We're the same football team.
And that's why we're both playing for the right to go to the Super Bowl.
And that's why we have had, gauntlet games. I mean, you think we've had, I think the 2 games we played already have been decided by a combined 4 points.
Yeah.
Field goal and, the 2-point conversion 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
So, yeah, anyway.
Hey there, I'm Chad with Jackson Painting and Remodel, and if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look, you've come to the right place. Whether you need a bold new color for your living room or a fresh coat to brighten up your home's exterior, my team and I have got you covered. We specialize in both indoor and outdoor painting, using only the best materials to make sure your space looks amazing and stands the test of time. If you're ready to transform your home, visit jacksonpainting.com. I'd love to come by, chat about your ideas, and give you a free estimate. At Jackson Painting and Remodel, we don't just paint, we make your vision a reality. Again, visit jacksonpainting.com or call 503-620-2600.
All right, conference championship weekend is upon us. You want to go chronological order here and go Broncos-Patriots first?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, what are we going to see out of the Broncos? Is Jason Stidham going to be able to manage that football game and make them competitive, or are the Patriots defense just going to overpower, confuse, and just make this kind of a one-sided game? What do you think?
So we've got a 2017 Philadelphia Eagles situation going on here, don't we, right?
We do.
Carson Wentz went down and Nick Foles came in. First of all, devastated for Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Like, at this time of year, everybody wants to see the best play. I mean,
yes.
Who doesn't want – I mean, we all want to see the best. That's why you pay your money. That's why you pay for Red Zone and cable television. And, so everybody wants to see the best. And I think if you asked every New England fan out there, they'd like, we want to win this thing with their best. Like, no competitor wants to sit there and go, you won, but it'd be like playing golf in the 2000s and going, well, I won the tournament, but Tiger didn't play this weekend. It's like you didn't beat Tiger.
Yep.
It's like you gotta. So, I don't know, man. And this could be a blowout. This could be a great game. Stidham has got an opportunity to get into some very rarefied company with Tom Brady, who obviously came in for Bledsoe, Foles, who came in for Wentz. Does Stidham now take over for Nix and take him to the promised land?
Well, I don't know if you saw Nick Foles tweeted out after the injury.
I did.
A positive note going into the game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against backup QBs in championship-type games.
Right?
I mean, if there's anybody that can write that tweet, it's him. He lived
and
it. So.
And TB12.
Yes.
So, look, here's the reality of the situation. I think he's one of those forgotten guys. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I forgot about him too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he could be, and this could be, look, sometimes in sports you need a little luck, right? You got to be in the right spot at the right time. And unfortunately, a lot of times that takes an injury to somebody else. That's just the way sports works, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm not saying anything negative about Knicks or anything but Chardonnay tore his ACL last weekend, doesn't get to play. Like, it happens, right? So I think people forget that, in his last game, he threw for 360 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
So he was drafted by the Patriots to basically take over for Tom Brady.
Yes.
Different coaching regime, different, things changed, but I don't know if he could be another Baker Mayfield, if he could be a Geno, if he could be a Sam Darnold, a guy that, sat for a few years in a great program, in a winning program with great coaching, and maybe at 27, 28 is now ready to take the big chip. So we're going to find out on Sunday.
Well, here's what I think. I think the key to this game is so first of all, he's been in Denver for 3 years. So he knows the system. He's been doing it in practice. He's been their number 2 guy for the last 2 years. I think if Denver can come out and run the football and kind of control line of scrimmage a little bit and take the pressure off of him, I think they got a chance. But if he has to come out and Denver can't run the ball and he's got to go throw this thing 45, 50 times, I think Denver's in a lot of trouble. But here's the other thing, right?
Go.
How does New England game plan for a quarterback they haven't seen in 4 years?
And that's, and that's the unique thing about this game, right? It's the tape isn't there.
No, you don't know. Is his tendency to go left? After he gets over after the first read, does he look left? Does he look middle? Is he going to want to run? Is he going to get out of the pocket? You don't have any of those trends to prepare for. So,
and that's where, you're probably going to see New England more in a, base kind of defense to start with, at least until they feel it out a little bit. Option 2 is just to come with the house and see if he can beat it.
Yeah.
And
pressure
that could
from
happen.
the start. Yeah.
Just casino blitz it. Just cover 0. Let's go. Maybe play one high safety so you give up 20 yards instead of 50, but you get the idea.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, all of these things are a possibility, and not necessarily mutually exclusive. They might come out one set of plays and sit in base. The next time they might come out and go, let's send them. So.
Yep. All right. So sitting here right now, what's your prediction? You got Patriots or you got Broncos?
I just got to go with the quarterback situation here, and I think it's still going to be a great game, but I got to go with New England. If Bo Nix is playing, I go with the Broncos.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the same thing.
Well, I mean, I think everyone's saying that right now. I mean, New England's. I just think Drake May's a year or two away.
So Broncos by 7 then?
Oh, I think this is going to be a low-scoring, smash-mouth game. I mean, I would have said 4, but it just depends on. It depends on what the score is with 5 minutes to go. If they're up 10, they'll play loose and maybe let New England get a touchdown and then put the screws to them. If they're down by 4, they'll keep playing defense. But I got New England purely based on the quarterback situation.
Yeah, same here. All right, let's get to the big one. Rams, Seahawks. Rubber match in Seattle for the right to go to the Super Bowl. We're both going to be there. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a great football game. This might be better than the Super Bowl. This might be the Super Bowl.
Oh, I think the winner of this football game wins the Super Bowl. I don't think anyone would even argue that question. They're clearly in a class of their own.
All right, so what is it going to take for the Rams to win this football game? Let's start with the Rams, and then we'll pose the same question to the Seahawks. What do the Rams have to do to win this?
The MVP needs to play like the MVP. Right. Period.
No giveaways. No sacks.
No, they traded the farm to get the guy, and he's already got him 1 Super Bowl, and he's working on number 2. But he's one of those 5-6 guys in the league that you just turn around and go, I don't want him to have the ball with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, because I don't know if we can stop him.
What, 2 minutes? I'm not sure 90 seconds or a minute you can stop him. I mean, he's proven he can run it right down the field.
I mean, you get my point, though, right? Yeah. I mean, we always talk about you want that quarterback that you got to go 80 yards with a timeout and 2 minutes in your pocket. There's only 5-6 guys in the league that you would go, I'll take him. He's one of those guys.
He is. I think the Rams have a chance of winning this football game if they can stop our run on 1st and 2nd down and kind of put us behind schedule and force Sam Darnold to beat us in the air.
Yeah.
I think they got a good line. I think they can put some pressure on him. McVay's got some really good defensive schemes, so I could see if they can put a ton of pressure, stop the run game, see if Darnold can beat him. I'm just not totally sure he can do that.
Okay.
So that's my thought. All right, Seahawks. What's it going to take for the Seahawks to win this football game?
So I am actually in a different camp than you.
Okay.
I think Seattle wins this game in a blowout.
Really?
Yep. And I have been very cautious, very subdued all season. I have never once come out and said I think the Seahawks are going to crush him. I think the Seahawks are going to come out and crush him.
Why do you say that?
Because I think this team just gets better every week. That defense just gets better every week. The offense gets better every week. Our offensive line is getting better every week. I think we're looking at the beginning of a really long run in Seattle here, and this is a special group of players. And if we were the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, a big market team, they'd be singing the praises all year on this deal. We get forgotten a little bit about up in the Pacific Northwest. Now they had to remember us during Legion of Boom days, but we didn't get the cred until we won that Super Bowl. So I'm telling you, man, I just think we are better in all phases. I really believe that. I think our offense is better. I think our defense is drastically better. And I don't think Matthew Stafford's 100%. And I could see this being 28-10.
Yeah, if we can jump out on them early like that, I could see that being a blowout for sure. I'm not sure we jump out to that lead.
And look, I mean, it's kind of been Kubiak's MO to play the ground and pound in the first half and run over him in the second half. That's no secret. That's been the game plan all year. And even think about last weekend. It was 17-6 at halftime, and San Francisco had the ball coming out in the third quarter. I mean, they run down the field and score a touchdown, and it's a one possession game. And you look at the scoreboard and you see 41-6, but you got to remember that game. I mean, other than the opening touchdown, you take that off the board, it's 10-6 at halftime. So with San Francisco having the ball, so I just think that we are just going to stifle the first half and run over them in the second half. That's what I believe. And I haven't said that all year, but I think this time, I think we're on a run, and I think we're ready to do it. And we've got veteran guys at the right spots. McDonald has shocked me as a coach. I didn't know what we were getting, and we got an absolute gem. So, yeah, man, I know that's not normally like me, but I'm coming out and say I think we're going to put a whooping on them.
All right. I mean, I'm all for that. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see this game be out of reach by mid-third quarter.
Yeah, no, it's there's
something about this team, right?
There is.
That's what you're saying. There's something that feels really good about this group of guys. They all play for each other. The locker room seems pretty tight. The coaching staff's tight. Like they're on a mission.
I mean, not once this year have you heard one player get in trouble on it hasn't been any guy getting a DUI. There hasn't been anyone that's hitting his wife or anything. There hasn't been anything in the locker room. There has been nothing but go Hawks. And it just kind of feels like we're on one of those runs. And I remember that first year, the 06 season. I think we started the season 1 and 2 and then peeled off like 13 wins in a row or something. And as you were getting into December and you were getting into January, there was just a feeling. And you couldn't explain it. You couldn't necessarily put words to it, but you just knew it. The Super Bowl year. I mean, honestly, I think we were a better team the year before. But, you just had that expectation, and you just knew that defense was going to show up. I trust our defense. I just don't think they can score points. That's why I think we're going to blow them out. I think we're going to get turnovers. I think we're going to have good field position, and I think you're going to see a replay of what you saw last weekend.
Yeah, wow, I'm all for it. We'll be there ready to watch.
I really hope I don't have to eat those words on Monday morning.
Well, we'll revisit this after the game, and we'll see. I think you're right, though. I think the Seahawks are going to dominate this football game, and we're going to be on our way to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
All right. One last prediction.
Okay.
Who's going to raise the 12th man flag?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Because Paul Allen did it for the first 3 times we went to the NFC Championship. Who raises it? I've heard three names all over social media, which last week everyone said, "Oh, Pete Carroll's raising the flag." Well, that didn't happen. So
it ain't going to be Pete Carroll. I'm not sure he's as loved in this town as some people think he is.
No, I don't think so either. So he was one of the names, right? Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch and
Jody.
Or I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Or because I think Pete's not. I don't think he's an option. Or the Legion of Boom altogether.
So I actually love that LOB idea, and just throw Marshawn in there for good measure. I think there's a couple of people that could do it that would be absolute fan favorites. I love the Legion of Boom idea. It's Jody's team now. If she wants to get up there and raise the flag, that's her prerogative. I think there's a couple other things that would be really cool. I think Matt Hasselbeck would be a fan favorite just because he was like the first guy that got us there, right? Yeah. I mean, he was the first guy. So like if him and Walter Jones got up there with Hutch and that group, who wouldn't cheer for that? You've got a couple of guys that play across the street named Edgar and Ken that would get a pretty welcome round of applause from everybody. Both Hall of Famers in their respective right. I'm not going to say Ichiro just because I don't think he translates to football as well. Nothing against Ichiro, but I just don't think he's the guy. Not for this game anyway. Honestly, I think it's going to be Jody, but the LOB, Hasselbeck, hell, the entire Seattle Mariners. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be maybe the Eddie Vedder. I mean, he might sing the national anthem, but do we know who's singing the anthem yet? I looked yesterday. Couldn't find out.
No, I have not seen any of that information yet.
Well, it might be Eddie Vedder. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's if I was betting, I'd say it's Jody, but I think there's some great options out there, and either way, it's going to be a big deal. Do we know who's doing halftime or anything, or is all that kept quiet?
No, I haven't seen any of that information yet, but my bet's on Jody. I think.
Yeah,
Paul did it 3 times. We won 3 times. It's her team. It's her time to do it. This
I gotta tell you, if I'm the owner of the team, I'm gonna go pull the flag up myself too.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you don't get to do that very often, especially in a championship game. So I'm going and raising the flag myself. Damn it!
I paid for this. I'm gonna go do what I want to.
Right? Ownership has its privileges, they say. So either way, man, it's going to be electric. Looking forward to catching up with you up there, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Enjoyed Lineups and Lures? Like, share, and rate the show to help us grow. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time on Lineups and Lures.